Hello and welcome to Mostly Minnesota Music Podcast Edition. I'm Ann Tracy. I'm here with my co-host,
Heather Baker.
Yes, and we are here with our friend, Ted Hajnasiewicz.
Yeah.
Oh, I practiced that in my sleep.
I know, it's probably a very stressful thing.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I think it's...
But I had to fight the urge to, because I've watched enough of these and I enjoy watching your show. And I had to fight the urge when you said to my friend, I was going to go, Heather Baker.
You do watch, yeah.
Next time I'll do that, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, it's good to have a spiel. Some people might have this music at the beginning or something.
Yeah.
It puts us in our warm
Exactly.
place.
Yeah,
So
and us as well as the viewers.
Well, that's good. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, Ted, thanks for joining us because you've got a new album that's coming out.
Yes. Yep. I think it's another month, another album. That's what it feels like. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I've been very prolific throughout quarantine. Yeah. So
that's great.
What are you gonna do?
That's great.
Yeah.
And you just had one song drip today that Love and Easy came out today. Was released today.
Dropped. I think the word they use is dropped.
That's what the kids are saying now. Dropped.
I think that's what they used in 2000. So I'm always behind. And so we'll go with dropped. I'm sure it's something else, but for now we'll go with dropped. Yeah.
I like it. I like the pedal steel. It's a country song.
Yeah. Chris Holm, you guys had Chris on a couple times. Yep. He and I, through the whole quarantine dream thing, we just kind of virtually met. We never met face to face and decided we should write together because we wrote for Quarantine Dream together, and then we should write something else. And we did a song, and then I think I threw a verse over to him on this, and then he came back with the chorus. And I love that song a lot. I think we'll probably do a rock version of the song someday. We talked about, he and I just do a rock version, but I just felt like for this record, I wanted to go stripped down, no drums on this record, just kind of more of as close to country as I can get. That's kind of the stuff.
Country.
Yeah, I grew up WDJY, so the only way I would make it closer if I could play it through one crappy speaker in a car, and I need to find that and do that because that's what we did driving up to the lake with one crappy speaker in the back seat of the car, listening to, and Mickey
I've
Gilly.
heard about WDGY in a while now.
Yeah, they're a rock station now, I think. The dude for Flip does a show on there anyway.
Okay.
So, but I don't know. Yeah, WDGY was our thing growing up. Yeah,
well, that's what my dad always listened to. So, and when I hear this, country music, I know it's country when it makes me think that I'm in the backseat of the car, driving on a road trip.
Yeah. My sister half covering the speaker in the back because she slept in the back. We were in seatbelts. So she slept in the back and I would sit in my feet at the wheel, where people's feet are. I would sit there, my brother's probably kicking me the whole way. Yeah. And everybody, if you have siblings, you're familiar with, stop touching me. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what
the line goes all the way up, people. The line goes all the way up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And I have one brother, one sister, and it has been many, many decades. But when I was a kid, my parents both smoked. And for some God-be-knows reason, the seat of honor would be in the front seat right next to between my parents and the chimneys.
Absolutely. Yeah. But, I don't know. I don't know about you, Ann, but my parents smoked too, and I don't remember it bothering me when I was a kid. It certainly bothers me now, but as a kid, it was just around it all the time. It didn't even faze me. And I remember my friends, you stink. And what are you talking about? I smelled like smoke,
Well, we would drive. Well, when I was little, we'd drive from Chicago to Minnesota, get out of the car, and my grandma would scrub us down.
Really?
Elaine, Bill, I don't know why you does this.
That's funny? Great.
Luckily, I don't think my parents listen to this, so I'm pretty safe as far as this conversation goes.
Right.
But the songs that I've heard on the album have that super country appeal.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't always get what I'm striving for, and this time it seemed to work out well. I think I got a lot of help with it. Ryan mixed it. Ryan Rude.
Nice.
He mixed that record, and then Sarah sang on it. The pedal steel is a friend of mine. Oh, I've never met him either, but he lives in England, which don't tell me where. He told me where, and I can't remember. That's my memory is so horrible. But he's just somebody I've worked with for years now, and I love what he does. And I think he, as much as I love everything on that song, in particular, Love and Easy, it's that steel solo that he did that just,
yeah,
just made me so happy. Yeah.
It is. Well, it was what I wrote down.
Oh yeah.
I was like pedal steel. I really, I had to look to see who, because I didn't know the name of who did it, but yeah, this is. I mean, you do such an amazing job with collaborating. So you've got Sarah Morrison, you got Jillian Ray on some of these songs too.
Yes, yeah. She did some tremendous. She did a fiddle on one song, which was amazing, and I thought that was great. And then on the Ren song, she called me because she's like, "I know you wanted fiddle, but I have this idea, and I'm wondering what you think about that." And then she just kind of went on and on and on about all these parts and she's studying the bird sounds and doing all these. And I'm like, just you do whatever you're going to do and I'm going to love it. And so she did like 6 parts on the Ren song. She made like this orchestra. It was wonderful. Yeah. I think that's cool. Some very amazing musicians. And I just had to sit back and watch them do their work, I guess. Virtually too. That's the sucky part. Someday we can go in a real studio.
But I think you've really, of the people that we talked to quite a few. You are someone who's really made the most of the quarantine time, from the quarantine dream. And I'll ask you, just for folks who aren't the regular listeners, just give us the 3-sentence what quarantine dream was.
The greatest thing ever. And I say that, it sounds arrogant. I don't mean it. The thing that was so wonderful about quarantine dream, Jessa Roque, she's still struggling and fighting her battle with cancer, and bills are looming on top of all the other things. I know this isn't 3 sentences, but I'm okay talking about the whole time with it. So Ryan Root, actually, it was his brainchild to collaborate, and I just jumped all over it. And then it was, let's do something to help someone out. And I was like, yes, absolutely. And then he mentioned Jessa, because he had Jessa on his program, on his The Rabbit Hole. And then he found out she was around when quarantine started. She started her battle with cancer. And so, yeah, of course. And it was just a wonderful, it was just great. So many people, there was something like 48 or 46 different musicians, songwriters, producers, blah, 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 were involved in that record. It was the greatest thing ever.
It really was. And it sounds like there are so many partnerships, collaborations that were born of that time or further cemented. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that would be something I'd like to do more of, however that looks. We're talking about doing, we're doing a covering other local artists record thing. Chris Holm. Chris Holm. Yeah. He's just a genius with ideas. And he came up with that idea to, let's make a record. Who wants to do this? And then a bunch of us just signed up. And once we got, I don't know if it's a dozen or 15, well, it can't be, it's an even number of artists. I went online and found a Secret Santa. You can just plug all their names in and then it just randomly shows people. So they're like, I'm covering a song, Chris's song, and Adriana Lair is covering my song, and on and on. It's just, so and it will feel like a gift when you get to hear your own song covered. It's a cool thing. So that will be, who knows? It takes time for people to actually kind of get their head around someone else's music, and but it's coming along. That'll be great.
Was that inspired by when you guys did the song for his sister?
I think it could have been. I know there was a group that, and I think Chris was involved in that. When the whole quarantine started, I don't know if you guys remember, Heather, I don't even know if you're on Facebook. If you're not, you're just hiding from me, is what it is.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, well, I mean, for the most part, it's probably a good thing. But there's a couple cool things on Facebook. One of them was, people doing these covers. They would just like go on, I'm going to cover Billy Joel, or I'm going to cover Iron Maiden, or I'm going to cover, anything. And I think Chris and Dan Chris, I can never say his name because he has one of those long names that's hard to pronounce, and I don't understand long names. They're hard to pronounce. Dan Kraskowski, those two, and I think someone else came up with this idea. Let's cover local artists. And so that was like people would just live stream themselves playing whoever's song, they're a friend of theirs, and it's cool. If you think about it, in Nashville, I think that's obviously people are writing all the time, and most people are doing someone else's song. But in the outlaw country days, Willie was doing, and he still does, other people's songs because he loves the songwriter. And Waylon would cover somebody's song, and Johnny Cash would cover somebody's song. And then if you go to Greenwich Village, if somebody was playing in a coffee shop and they heard this person's song, next thing you know, they're doing the song. And it was just the way you did it. And I think I'd like to build that culture. That's not my idea, but I'm not the one I'm just kind of saying this. I'm speaking for this. We'd like to build a culture of, hey, let's support each other I want to cover your song because I really love that song. I think that'd be neat. Yeah.
I do think that's awesome. I was going to say, I love the We Row or whatever song that you did.
Oh, Battleship was the one
excuse me, yes. The Battleship.
Yeah.
But I do have to say your name always comes up as the snowball thinker. You get it and kind of push it and grow it. So you are on to something there.
I think as much as I've noticed that, and I kind of think I like it, I don't. It's weird. I don't think I'm the one doing it. I think people just tag my name to it because my name is the most difficult name. So therefore he must have the one who thought it up. I really don't have any ideas. I just hear someone else has a great idea and I either jump on or steal it, or even my show I stole it from Sarah Morris. So there you go. Everything, I get permission, but so I guess it's not theft. It's probably borrowing. Yes. I'll return it and I'll return the pan too, so yeah, clean. Yeah.
I was going to say your Justin Show song at the beginning, it has a Jayhawks vibe. I was like, woo!
Oh, yeah, that's a compliment. Wow.
Oh,
I love
huge. I love the song. And then how you kind of slow it down for your show, like, I was like, wait, what?
I'll send you guys
humor in there.
I'll send you guys the video afterwards. It's not quite done. I'm working with a friend of mine, Dave Dennison. He's just a beautiful man, and he's a videographer, and he kept offering to make a video, and I'm just like, well, you know all these cool people. Just make a video for cool people, and he kept saying, no, I'll do it. We live relatively close to each other, and no, I'll do this. So we filmed the last part Sunday, and he's pretty close to wrapped up. We just basically had to recut a couple things, and I don't want to say anything because I don't want to ruin it, but I don't watch a lot of videos, but I love watching this, not because it's mine, but because of what he did. He made such a cool video. I'll send it to you guys because I can't share it yet. But so anyway, the reason why I bring that up is the whole slow down thing was him, because he slowed it down so that we could film at this speed and then speed it up later. And I fell in love with it. I'm like, it's weird to hear the song at normal speed for me now because I keep listening to this slow, annoying sounds like, oh my gosh, it's sounds like your batteries are dying in your Walkman or something. It's great. Yeah. I
like it because you always have the humor factor too involved.
Yeah, I like to say stupid is my love language. I think that's what I'm going for. Yeah.
Can I ask one more question just because you have?
No.
Okay. 3 then.
Yes, 3.
I was wondering, since you are such a collaborator and other kind of, do you when you write now, do you kind of go, ooh, Sarah Morris over here and this, where before you're like just you and your guitar or whatever, or has it changed your writing?
I think it has changed. Well, a big part, and I've talked about that before, the songwriting challenge group, which is actually a big, that was one big driver, not the only one, but a big driver for collaborating and co-writing, because I did that last summer. That was the whole summer of writing. because I was kind of burnt out on writing. I thought I'm just going to collaborate with somebody new every week. But yes, I think I do now that I've actually, I think it just took the courage. Thank you, Ryan. He was the first one I did it with in a long time, co-writing. And it took the courage or getting over that fear of my stuff's not good enough. Because I don't think anybody else thinks that. Every songwriter thinks that of their own stuff, but I don't think other people think that, because I don't think that of their songs. So once you get over that, you kind of realize how much fun you're having. And there's a joy in writing. Whether the song is good or not, it doesn't matter. But there's a great joy in being able to collaborate. And there's a comfort in the way we've been doing it, where I can just throw something over to you and then you do whatever you do in your own time and send it back. And we don't have to sit in a room and, okay, what you got? and hope something's cool, or does she think it's cool? Because I'm not sure it's so cool. And you're just like, I don't know, when I can just toss it over the fence and not see your face. Because if you hate it, then I wouldn't know. Yeah. I don't know. Yes, I think it's changed the way I write, in that I love writing with others, probably most of the time. I will write alone. I still do write alone, but I look forward to who can I write with next. Yeah. My goals are to, and I haven't figured out who those who's are, is to like, who else can I write with? Who haven't I written with and who else can I write with? Kind of, most people would have goals of, I want to, and not that I don't, but I want to get on The Current, or I want to get on, open for so-and-so. And mine are like, I want to write a song with Willie Nelson, which probably will never happen, but well, who else can I make as a goal? Right. It's like, so I want to set unattainable goals, or possibly unattainable, and then set attainable. And well, who else haven't I written with, and who's up for it? And then see what happens.
What song has been the biggest stretch for you?
Biggest stretch? Actually, Sarah Morris would be that. We wrote one in this last summer called The Poet and the Painter. And I tend to be I write very quickly, and I don't really think about what I'm doing. I just kind of blurt it out, and then I might go edit it later. Often you edit in some fashion, whether even the edit is a word or two, or it's a lot of changes, like I rip that chorus out. But in writing and in most of the co-writing I'd been doing, just kind of was this, oh, cool. Yeah. And here's this. And then we just toss it back. But with Sarah, I think of her as a very intelligent writer. And so like, she would come with, okay, but what if we did this and we changed the arrangement here? Or what if we need to have and she'd use like the turnaround and all these terms that I hadn't really heard. I'm not that smart of a writer. And so she kind of exercised me in a way I'd never done. And then we wrote another song in the fall that's actually on the record. And it was very similar. And I like it. It's good because you're not just getting complacent and doing the same old thing. So yeah, that was the biggest stretch. But it's a good stretch. I've never had, since I've been doing this, I've never had one where it was painful. That makes sense. Or, ooh, I didn't like that. Yeah.
Not doing that again.
Yeah, I haven't had that yet. So I should set that goal too. I got to have a horrible experience. Yeah. If anybody wants to have a horrible experience writing.
Ted's your guy.
You're pushing yourself when I had to help organize an all online conference this last fall. And I said, let us have one big success and one big failure. You learn so much from the failures. You
absolutely do. You're right. Yeah.
So I'm going to think about some people to set you up with. I used to be a big fan. I still am, but I used to go see a lot more back in the live music days. Serious, harsh ambient. I can hook you up with some serious, harsh ambient musicians. That might be some.
That would be great. Awesome. Do you want me to film when I cry then too, so you can see that?
Yeah, of course.
Because that could be your one big success then. I made Ted cry. That would be wonderful. I'll do it for you.
Yeah, awesome. It was funny. I don't know if it's on the website or someplace, but somewhere you do have the moniker that your goal is driven to write the perfect song.
Yeah, I don't remember if I came up with that or somebody else wrote that. I don't remember, and I don't even know what that means.
I was just going to ask.
couldn't even, honestly, I don't know what that means. I really don't. If I came up with it, I probably was trying to think of something clever. I think it's always striving to write better, but what is the perfect song? I don't know. It's, Jeff Tweedy, he wrote the book, Learn to Write One Song, which if you haven't read it, I think everybody should read it. And I think everybody should do what he says, and not so much exactly what he says, but just go experience it. If you have any musical acumen, or write a poem, I don't care what it is, or just journal, because he talks about, and that's kind of been my mantra. Thank you, Jeff Tweedy. He talks about just being in the moment. And he even described songwriting or performing or anything, or even if you're at a concert, how that's one thing that can literally stop time, because you have no idea how much time has passed while you're enjoying that moment. And so that's kind of been my goal for all promoting all this. I mean, part of the reason I reached out to you guys is I wanted to talk with you. This is like, what else could be better than just sitting and chatting, So when I'm out trying to do any kind of schlepping, I'd rather do it in a way where I'm not always like, hey, look at me. Like, no, you get to BS for an hour, and that's wonderful. So I'm all about that. Even my show was that. It's like, I just want to have something that we have fun and just enjoy the moment, and the rest is all whatever. Did I answer your question, or did I just talk way too much?
Yes. How are you going about choosing who you're having on your show, and what was your goal for that?
Right. So the big part was I had to pay for the record, and so whoever was willing to pay the most, I put up an eBay auction, and that's why. No, actually, what I did was I reached out to everybody who played on the record or wrote with me. So everybody who's on the show is was part of the record. So, and the only exception is I had one song where I had a bunch of people send in tracks for gang vocals. They just recorded them on their iPhone or whatever, and I didn't have any of them on because COVID restrictions. You can't have that many people. No, that was just too difficult. I wanted to set a limit. I think I'm only doing 10 episodes total. So in the end, it was like I had enough musicians, and I was lucky enough to get every songwriter, every musician, Brian, my producer, everybody. Dave is doing one. I have a very special guest for my most favorite episode that I hope people think is great. It's so that's how they all got selected.
Have you filmed them all now?
All but one. No, I have a couple segments to do for another one. I'm trying to treat it like a TV show, like the Jumping the Shark episode, or the Double episode, or the Live in the Studio episode. And I don't want to give away too much, but I'm trying to make it as fun and interesting, like conversational like this, but also kind of ridiculous. A big part for me was I listen to, when I can, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. Have you heard of that podcast? It's just him interviewing other celebrities, but it's like they're all friends of his, but he makes this joke of, I don't have any friends, and so I'm trying to make friends, and he just sits and chats with them, and some of them are so obnoxiously stupid, like they're just, because Conan, how ridiculous he can be, and if you get the right guest on and they just play off each other, and I love that stuff. So that was my goal, is to incorporate a little stupidity in my show, and so far it's been working out pretty well. Yeah, we've got some stupid people in many. No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, I have watched them, and what comes to my mind when you say that is your school duke out with Ryan brother over the Beatles. I was like, what? I was ready to look what this brother looks like, because I'm like, Ryan, I wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley. So I was kind of getting nervous for you.
Yeah, that all, because I don't know, that all, they do their show. If you've ever listened to their show, they're pretty ridiculous. And so I've never met Matt Rude. He's cool, he's funny, and I think I texted Ryan in the middle of his show challenging his brother to a fight, but I told him it can only be the high school fight, like, or actually, I think of elementary school fight where you really don't fight. You just talk about it and hope that somebody breaks it up. Because that was me. I'm not a fighter. So yeah, I'll challenge anybody to a fight over a video call. Yeah, but not in person. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to more of that because I was like, oh my gosh, Ted, you're having way too much fun. And then, yes, as you got on today, I was like, where's his mustache? It's like when people are in movies and they have something and then you see them in real life and they look different. You're like, but you have this.
Right. So, or you're like, yeah, you're right. When they go on and they do a show because they're into the next thing and all that. And my next thing was I kept the mustache as long as I could for the video and for the TV show. And I like calling it a TV show. It's not a TV show, but I'm going to call it a TV show for the TV show.
Yeah.
But then I had to get rid of it. My wife, Phyllis, and our anniversary was February 23rd. So I had to be gone by the 23rd. And we literally finished all the shooting that I needed it for on the 22nd. She was a good sport. She was a very good sport. But she hates that mustache.
It's a real testament to the 70s.
Yeah, it worked out really well. I was surprised by that. I've only done it a small handful of times in my life, and every time has been in some fashion that was goofy. So I'm sorry, proud mustache wearers, and I make fun of you. I am sorry, but if you knew my wife. Yeah.
Everybody's different. Everybody grows a mustache differently, and people have different views on mustaches. So it's.
Yeah, and I gotta say, and I'm painting a pretty broad stroke here, but everybody I've ever known who is a serious mustache wearer is not a serious person. They have the best sense of humor. So I feel comfortable growing it and making fun of them because they probably make fun of me in some way. What's that?
I should start growing mine out then.
I dare you.
Sorry.
Or do a little like magic marker that would.
I think I could do a little, the curl.
I had a friend who did that. Yes, that's so cool. And I always wanted to do that. I haven't done that yet. I don't know if I could. There's an artistry there that. Oh yeah. Next one.
Phyllis is going to hate us.
She is. I will beg her forgiveness for you in advance. Yeah.
It's not only you that gets to have the virtual fights here.
Right. So you're challenging my wife to a fight. She's a farm girl, though. She's pretty tough.
She'd win.
She's lovable, though. She would. Although I don't know if I've ever told you, there's a place that, darn it, I can't wait to play again. There's a place, we live out in Carver County, and there's a tiny little towny bar that we like to play. I love to play, and one of the big reasons is my wife always gets in a fight with one of the bar staff there. Her name is Tanya, and she calls herself Tanya Tuckered Out. So number one, she and I always sing Delta Dawn together. Tanya Tuckered Out and me. But then the other part is Tanya has the mouth that makes sailors blush. She's just witty, hilarious. But those two go at it in a wonderful way. And it's just the best time ever. So my wife will definitely hold her own in that kind of fight. But you'll love it. Nobody's going to cry. Everybody will probably only cry from laughing. She is very stupid is her love language too. Yeah, we're made for each other.
Will she do a guest appearance on your show? Tanya Tuckered Out and your wife.
Oh my gosh, I never thought about that.
What? Do it.
Maybe the summer special. We'll have to come back and do when people do reunion shows now.
Yes.
So
write this down. Write it down.
Know. Oh my gosh.
That would be good. That'd be good. You got to branch out. Bring in all the family.
I might have to come up with some new concept afterwards. I've wanted to do a podcast for a long time. I'm just way too lazy. So if I could get somebody to do some of the work and all I can just do is talk, I would do it in a heartbeat.
You should.
But Ryan and I have some really dumb ideas. So we're going to see where we can take that. And we might just talk about it.
That's
So,
fun too.
we should talk about it publicly, because then if somebody else takes the idea, then we don't have to do anything. We just watch it.
Or you could
I'm
be
all
the
for that.
guest appearances.
Even if I just watch it, then I don't have to do anything. I can just sit home and eat ice cream and watch the show. That'd be great. I told you I'm really lazy.
You're not. Far from it.
I think I'm probably not as lazy as I think I am. I'm just lazy when it comes to doing real work. Yeah.
Aren't we all? I mean,
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm so tired. I've been working so hard. Oh, you want me to go play guitar? Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. That's about the way it is. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So what's 10 shows you said? You're doing 10?
10 shows. I think if I can pull it together, it might be 9, but I think I got 10. And we'll see if I can keep people interested long enough for 10 shows. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. 10 shows, record. I've got this. I've got CDs.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
With the mustache. I don't know if I can see. I'm having a hard time with the camera, but you trust me, there's a mustache on there.
Yeah.
I
kind of like the T-shirt merch that you have with the giraffe too. Is that?
I have probably a half a dozen shirts left. I don't know. And I thought I should sell these things because I honestly, I would have given you two one if we were doing this in person, because I'm so like, I played shows. I bought these shirts a year ago or so, and thinking I can sell merch, right? And then I'd be at the show and I'll be fighting with people because no, just take one, and they're like, want to pay me. And I'm just really not good at it. I need somebody else to handle my merchandise.
Yeah.
Because I'm losing money because I give it away. My wife's going to want to fight me after she hears this, but I need somebody to stop me. Yeah. But so I thought I'm going to put them up on my Bandcamp, and then we have this huge giraffe in our entryway because we think we love it. His name's Jeff with a G. Giraffe? Jeff. And Goff, he's our giraffe, and so I thought I'm going to take a picture with him, hugging him. He's very important to us. So they don't have to buy the shirt, but definitely look at the picture. Enjoy the picture. Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
did your homework, Heather.
In my cart. You
got one of your cards?
Yeah.
I'll return your money, but just
Nope.
send me your address. I'll send you one.
No. I'm already fighting with your wife on a different reason. I don't need double.
And we're gonna fight over this. Like, I'm not taking your damn money. Yeah.
You need to deputize somebody every show. Somebody would be delighted to do that for you.
Yeah.
I have found myself voluntold a couple times when I realized that somebody I know has just walked away from their cash box and the records and I've said, oh,
right.
hell, I can make change for a 20. Sure. Here you go.
Right.
Somebody would be.
And their irresponsibility is different than mine. Mine is more like that Minnesota nice. Well, I can't charge somebody for this,
A little bit. Well, that's why you got to deputize. Tell someone you'll buy them a beer. Give them a CD. Give one person a CD. They charge
Right.
People are happy to do it, and I think people will, especially when we're back in the real world, when everyone is in the same room. We want to see you playing next week, the week after.
Think about the experience when we actually get to go to a show. And I would be a merch table person. I would do all of that stuff. I think, yeah. And I would not give away other people's stuff because then it's
no,
theirs.
You don't. I mean, it's one thing if it's yours. It's another thing if it's somebody else's. Then you almost
exactly.
I always like to cheat people a little bit. Okay, make them it's an $18. I just give $1 change.
There you go.
This person has earned it.
Right. So. You have no idea. Absolutely.
Have you been able to play? I mean, it's so much of as you've said, so much of your work is online collaboration. Have you had any good experiences playing with people in the same room?
No. I've met with another producer friend who we've been working on a record for 2 years or so now. Wow. We're working on 2 years. We're just kind of here or there. So eventually this thing will come out and the songs will be so old by then that I won't remember that I wrote them. So it'll feel like I'm doing covers then. So we have that, and I'm only met a small number, and it's been a while too, not since summer. Yeah, that's it. I haven't really gotten together. My friends who I was trying to pull a band together pre-COVID, we keep talking about it, and we might start to figure something out here soon when it warms up. Because I think I have an outdoor thingy with a band in July, so I have to pull a band together. So, but no, other than that, not much, and not even shows. I haven't done a show since. I mean, not counting live streams, I haven't done a show since. I mean, it was outside, so it would have been when it was warm, October, September, whatever it was. It's been a long time. I don't even know if I know how to play guitar anymore. It's tough.
Not with an audience, anyways.
No, I do have a live stream this Friday, the 10,000 streams.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So I'm doing mine Friday, and that will be a lot of fun. I love that. Last year I watched so many of them. I don't think I'm going to be able to watch as many this year, but I watched so many of those streams. It was just a blast. It felt like I've never been a big festival person. Like, I don't know about YouTube, but like going to festivals where you're there for a whole day or a weekend, it's never been my thing. I can go to a concert and I enjoy it, but that's enough. 3 hours or whatever is plenty, but 8 hours? But live streaming, I just make some popcorn and I can, and I enjoy it. And then I get to chat with them. I think that's another part that's kind of, for me, has been the one cool thing of live streams is trying to interact with people so I can somewhat talk with them, even if I can't see them. It kind of replaces the audience thing, if you will, Yeah. So Friday through Sunday, folks, 9 to 10,000 streams. Google it.
Yeah, there are a lot of great people who are playing. I mean, it is a great lineup.
Yeah, Jeremy Messersmith. I think Katie Vernon's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Mother Banjo, Ben Cookfelds, on and on and on. I'm missing. So, I mean, there's dozens and dozens.
Yeah, there are 10,000, I think.
Streams, 10,000 streams. They should do that.
Yeah.
They should get 10,000 streams going on at once.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
And you have to watch at least 12 at a time.
One for each guitar string.
Right. And if we figure out how to do it in unison, but you can't do it at the same time, because if you've ever seen anybody do these Zoom things, if I play and then you play, one of us cancels the other out. And yeah, that'd be great. Just look at us. Yeah. Live streams.
We are all so much more knowledgeable about all of that stuff now than we were a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we don't have to remember this stuff much longer. We'll see.
No, but
there's another vaccine. I heard a single dose. So
Johnson & Johnson.
Mm-hmm. That's encouraging.
It is very encouraging. It's very encouraging, and it will be interesting to see if people continue to do a component of online when do your online from the Turf Club. That might not be the best example, but from the Astor. I was thinking about you two today about that, because I know you have the radio thing, and I think it would be great to have that back. But what you have is really cool. And what if you did it from like a booth at the Turf Club or something, and every Thursday afternoon for lunch you can have somebody in, and wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, Felix would be delighted to see me there even more often.
But I mean, it would be a fun thing to have something like that, and those kind of things would be cool. And the other thing, I saw you guys had Michael Gay on recently, and before quarantine, he had started the Old Country Buffet thing up at I think it was at where was it, Dusty's? Anyway, he did like 2 of them. Basically, it was a night of, we're going to do a bunch of country covers, and then he'd have a songwriter. Like the one time I was there, John Lewis came in and he did some of his own things, and he was trying to present it at kind of this not variety show, but this, Michael would tell the history of this song by, it was written by so and so, but it because Johnny Cash did it, or blah blah. And he was really knowledgeable about all this stuff. And he was trying to do the banter like you watch Hee Haw or something like that. And I always told him, you should put together a variety show, because we need that. And who cares if it's low key nowadays? It's like, pull together a variety show. So I probably should do it, because nobody else is doing it.
You should do, but we'll help. will help. We did. I was involved last year with the Dolly Parton. So
Oh yeah, but that was live, right?
Yeah.
What if we could do it in front of an
yeah.
audience? So maybe we could figure out a way to do the streaming with somebody with better production qualities or better production skills than I have, where we could actually do every Thursday, and we're going to stream it. So for the people who don't want to go out, we're going to do from, I don't care, pick the venue and have a little fun.
Looking Ladder, they have a nice setup for something like that. I mean,
that would be cool.
Yeah, I wonder if it would be, because I think that there will be there will be a group who doesn't want to go to shows for a lot. You know, we all have a different comfort level. Some of us may be going to see Charlie Parr live tomorrow night. So some of us, our comfort level might be
right.
I mean, I'll wear a mask.
Is he live tomorrow night?
Midway Saloon.
Where?
Midway
Really?
Saloon. They just, you know, that is what some of the, I mean, as I said, we'll have that gradation of, because, you know, we've been to a couple of shows where, well, Heather and I went to go see him at First Avenue. There were 20 tables.
I didn't know they had any tables. How cool was that, though? 20 tables
of 2. So there were 40 people live. It was
double layered.
Yeah. It
in
was
that
fun.
huge room. Yeah. I mean, you got to figure you're relatively safe. And I'm sure you are far enough away from Charlie where he's not spitting all over you. And, cause that's always been the part that scared me the most is, frankly, I'm probably the most, I mean, I don't think I have COVID. What if I do? I'm the most dangerous person because I'm the one who's spitting across the room when I'm singing. Right. So I'm singing and you get sick. You're welcome.
And that one was like a super special VIP. I mean, you felt like a super special VIP because the stage we were upstairs, to be fair, but somebody said, "Oh, did you recognize anyone in there?" I said, "How would I? Everyone's wearing a mask. I wear glasses. I can't see that far." I mean, it was easily as safe as going to the grocery store.
Right.
You know,
right.
It's that. So as the pendulum swings, I think we'll get to a point where 90% of us will have a comfort level of being out, but there'll always be the 10%. And then there's always the 10% who didn't want to make the drive from, you know, Park Rapids, or they got sick for the night, or they couldn't get a babysitter.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like the curbs for people in wheelchairs. They are also great for people in cribs or in strollers, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it would be fun to do those, and you wouldn't have to do it for every show, but there are some and it's another way for venues to make money. And honestly, if they could sell enough tickets, whatever is a safe number, think about that. Yeah. Day one, they're not going to go 100%. So if they can find a way to sell some online tickets as well to recoup costs, because they're already way, way in the red. So they could use the help. I think it would be a cool thing.
Yeah.
And if you could find gimmicky things like a variety show or I forget what the country cover thing was going on at, where was it? I think the VFW. I want to say Dan Israel's drummer was involved, but I could be way wrong there. Somebody really cool was involved in this
David Russ?
Yeah, and I forget, but it might not have been him. It could have been somebody else. Why I have him in my head, I don't know. But they were doing this thing where basically they were kind of doing what Michael Gay was doing, and they would have it and it was really built for dancing. Like you're gonna go there and dance with whomever and have fun, and but they were doing all these old country songs. So like if you could find a gimmick to, you know, have a little laughter, have a little
local music,
yeah, I think it would be fun, and make it your own. Don't just copy that, but come up with something new. Again, I don't want to do it.
Instead of hee-haw, we could be oofda.
I love it. You two should be the hosts. Oofda, yes. Oh yeah.
But better the host than the singers, I'll tell you that much.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, you can set the stage, you know, we set the bar. Well, I mean, you guys are probably great singers, so don't sell yourself short. But if you're not, set the bar really low, and then everybody else will be, or go with what was it, Minnie Pearl? You know, she was never a great singer, but she was an amazing personality.
Yeah.
Actually, she probably was a great singer, and she just played it up. So
probably.
Yeah.
I was so good that the nuns told me that sometimes not singing was like praying twice.
Oh, that's great.
So good we were. Yeah, we're up for any of that action. I think. Well, what I love about you, Ted, is I feel like you're going to take at least one thing we've been talking about and make it happen.
Oofda. I may not do it, but I'll get somebody to do it. trust me on this. It's happening. Oofda. Oh yeah, totally.
You really are fantastic at that. And I just, without a doubt, when we were talking to everyone from the quarantine dream, as Heather said, they would really put you and Ryan in the center of having, and Ted and Ryan are doing so much work, and the two of you are like, are we? It's not so, it's so, you did it.
I wonder, I think it's because if you really enjoy what you're doing, it doesn't feel
That's
like
it.
work. Yeah. And that was like, you can't top that. We're doing the thing we love the most for the coolest reason. You can't top that. Yeah.
No.
So oofda, and we'll find, oofda is going to happen. We're going to serve hot dish. We're going to
mystery hot dish.
Yeah. And the problem will be that it's bar close time, but everybody hangs out outside for like 2 hours because of Minnesota goodbye.
Yeah.
So, but then everybody will be sober by the time they leave. See?
Safety. There's safety for you.
Yeah. Ryan and I will hang out outside until your cab comes. And then your cab bill will be ridiculous because it took us an hour to leave. Yeah.
Tell Ryan to bring the Andy's mints.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're going to have hot dish breath. Yeah.
We have so many good plans. Plans.
Oofda. I like it.
Exactly. Oh. Well, it is fun to hear about all of the things that you are doing. And I like that songs from the album are sneaking their way out into the real world. Yeah. Things are happening. It's exciting. It's fun to have, like, when the work is all done, it's like, oh, that's really cool. And then I got to be honest, I don't listen to it much now because I listen to it so much. We worked on that thing for a couple months, and then I just go on walks and listen to the mixes. And now it's like, yeah, great. But I'm sure everybody deals with that. When you put a record out, you're kind of ready for the next thing. I bet.
So I'll have another record next month. We'll talk in a month. I'm joking.
Yeah, you haven't been about as prolific as.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan Israel might be the only person who's more prolific.
Yeah,
so.
The two of you could. It's great.
We should. That's it. Dan Israel, you and I are going to write a song together. I would love to write with Dan. I love his music, so I'm going to write a song with Dan. I said it here. Now it has to happen.
That would be.
He's probably going to watch this or hear about that and go, son of a. He's a sweet guy.
He'll let you know. That would be a good mix. You both have a good sense of humor, but you both, and this is different. It's a different stuff. That would be super interesting.
Yeah.
But he's got very similar influences. I mean, he's a huge Tom Petty fan.
I was going to say Tom Petty. Yeah. Bob Dylan.
And Bob Dylan. I love Bob Dylan, not like he does though. I think Dan bleeds Bob Dylan. Yeah. But I do love him. So I mean, a lot of his influences are similar. So it would be fun to write with him, and who knows? Could be great. Or that could be the horrible experience, at least for Dan.
No.
Yeah.
Are you a person that can't sit still, or you always need something in the works, or what?
You have no idea how lazy I am. I love to binge watch TV. My poor wife, she's the not sit still, and so she's go. And I'm like, can't we just sit down and watch TV? Or I want to take a nap. I love naps.
I just feel like you get inspired by whenever you think you're being lazy. It has a time for your mind to settle and go, here, that, connect. You know what I mean? Just your time to
I think
get it going.
I mean, if with music and doing all the fun things around that, or whatever, all the goofy things we're talking about doing, that's fun. It's probably like I don't golf. I don't play any sports. I don't even really watch sports. So that's my, I hate to compare it to that because that's a hobby. This is probably more of a passion. But now I don't want to mow the lawn. I don't want to vacuum the house or whatever. And I'll do those things, but those type of things, yeah, I'll be like, let's take a nap. Oh no, I'm much lazier than you realize. Next time I'll bring my wife on and then she can tell you.
We'll ask her the questions.
Well, the thing is, and you have to press her. So you might have to we'll kind of groom her for that because she'll be super sweet for a while and eventually you can break her down or something. Or maybe I could just have her on, but I'll groom her by just annoying the crap out of her all day. So finally she's like, yes, here's the truth. Because usually otherwise she would be much kinder than, she doesn't say bad things about me. She's wonderful. So, but I could work on that. I could ruin her.
I can't wait to see the episode of her and Tanya Tucker.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a great idea. I do want that to happen. I should make that happen. I will figure that out for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Tanya Tuckered Out.
Tanya Tuckered Out.
Oh.
Okay, so for people who are listening, how can they find all of your magic online?
That's a secret. No,
Fair.
If you go to tedhtunes.com, I think that'll take you everywhere. But otherwise, like my record, tedhtunes.bandcamp.com. So you can get the CD there or the shirt. And if you buy a shirt, I'll send you the picture of me with Jeff the Giraffe. The video, I don't know, will be out soon. I don't know exactly. I've got to figure out how to. I kind of want to promote that I don't know how to do that stuff. I'm talking with Ellen Stanley about that because I've never done a video thing. So the TV show on YouTube, youtube.com/TedHtunes. Just think TedHtunes. If you Google that, I think it'll take you everywhere.
I see it.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
I was going to say, I think you have a link on your Instagram that has it all too.
Oh, I do. That's right. If you go to my Instagram, which is TedHtunes, if you go to my bio, it's basically a bunch of links with everything you can think of.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it all figured out.
All figured out.
Yeah.
Ted, thank you. It's
Oh,
always
thank
fun
you,
to catch
guys.
up with you. It's exhilarating to hear about all the stuff you're working on.
Honestly, I am very appreciative that you two would even just let me come on. I feel like I've worn out my welcome and I'm just going to keep doing it. I don't know. So I really am thankful that you would even let me come on and gab. So, and it was so much fun. I told you this was super fun.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun. So.
Yeah. Thank you too.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care.